The Score, the final movie to star Hollywood legend Marlon Brando, was almost a total disaster thanks to the star's disrespectful behavior toward director Frank Oz. Considered to be the greatest screen actor of all time, it's fair to say that Brando sometimes let that reputation go to his head in later years. From On the Waterfront to Apocalypse Now, many of Marlon Brando's greatest movies are among some of the finest entries in the Hollywood canon. However, for all the impressive credits in Marlon Brando's resume, he appeared in some notoriously bad movies toward the end of his career. Frank Oz's The Score, which also starred Robert De Niro and Edward Norton, wasn't one of those bad movies, but it could have been if the on-set behavior of The Godfather's Marlon Brando went unchecked. The source of the issues with The Score's production was a breakdown in relations between Marlon Brando and his director, Frank Oz. The relationship between Oz and Brando was so strained that the movie's lead, Robert De Niro, had to step in to mediate between his co-star and director. Brando's disruptive behavior on the set of The Score was widely reported at the time, via Montreal Gazette, and threatened to overshadow the first, and only, partnership between two screen legends. Why Brando didn't respect Frank Oz, even though he should have. Before directing The Score in the summer of 2000, Frank Oz was best known as a director of beloved comedy movies like Little Shop of Horrors and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. The Score was Oz's first dramatic movie as director, which may have been where the clash between him and Brando originated. Discussing the making of The Score with Time back in 2001, Oz revealed that he objected to Brando's over-the-top characterization of Max in the movie. When Oz told Marlon Brando to take his performance down a little, the legendary actor simply responded by saying, F********. This led to an increasingly fractious situation on set, with Marlon Brando refusing to even be in the same room as his director. This led to Robert De Niro having to step in and communicate Oz's directions via an assistant director. Whenever Frank Oz and Marlon Brando were on the same set, the star referred to his director as Miss Piggy, in reference to the character from The Muppet Show that a young Oz had voiced. Brando even told Frank Oz that Marlon Brando had a history of diva-like behavior on set. Marlon Brando's bad behavior on set was well documented long before he was cast in The Score. Sophia Loren discussed Brando's poor behavior in her 2014 memoir, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, My Life, via Far Out, revealing that he once put his hands on her when filming Charlie Chaplin's 1967 film, A Countess in Hong Kong. According to Peter Manso's biography of Marlon Brando, he stopped production on 1962's Mutiny on the Bounty so that members of the crew could design and decorate a friend's wedding in Tahiti. The star's behavior became so notorious that Paramount didn't want to cast Marlon Brando in The Godfather. Marlon Brando contributed to the perfect storm that was Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now, by refusing to research the role by reading Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. To add to the stress, Coppola had to shoot Brando in Near Darkness, to cover up the actor's bulk. Another notoriously troubled Brando production was The Isle of Dr. Moreau, in which he famously convinced the movie's second director, John Frankenheimer, to let him wear an ice bucket on his head during one scene. Brando's on-set behavior was becoming so erratic and unpredictable at this stage that it inadvertently helped to promote The Score.